Shut up and sit down.
Do whatever you want to do.
I don't know if I have one for y'all yet.
I don't know. Do you have a Yahoo account?
Yeah, he didn't think he had an NFL.com one, and somehow I was able to hack in. So
I didn't think I did either, and then it's like, oh, I
See,
did.
there you go. And he says hack. I gave him the password.
Okay.
We just didn't
That's
know
true.
that was the
But
password.
he basically said, "I don't think I have an account for that."
Oh, well,
And sure enough, he did. Not only did he have an account, but it was his password that he gave me. So
all right.
that worked out pretty nicely.
I thought so.
So you guys ready to talk some football?
Of course.
Yeah, sure.
That was very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
Which one of us?
Both of you.
Woohoo!
Both of you.
Football.
Everybody.
You know,
welcome.
honestly, I was just interested in doing a draft, and Joe tagged along our show. So sure, I'm fucking thrilled. Let's
All
do
right,
this.
Let's do
Right.
it. Let's do it. Let's talk some football.
Make it
Everybody,
quick.
welcome into the Pigskin Pricks. We have a wonderful, exquisite topic at hand today, and it revolves around a diva. But before we get into that diva,
Oh, you mean Cam Newton, or was that Tom Brady?
No,
Bill
it's his,
Belichick.
it's his, it's his long lost
Hey.
son.
We're not
Oh.
talking about them. At least,
Okay.
at least the diva from New England, who now in Tampa Bay, has 6 Super Bowl rings. So I'll take that kind of diva any day of the week.
I bet you would.
I
But
would too.
before we jump into the diva news,
Oh, I was gonna do
What's
a
on-
really bad mom joke, but I had to.
God-
Sorry, I interrupted you.
No,
Keep
it's
going.
Okay, it's okay. What's
Go
on the drink menu?
Oh,
I see.
Chocolate milk.
I gotta be
Wow,
honest with you.
chocolate milk.
I didn't have shit in the fridge, so I'm just
Mick
like,
Ultra.
No, it's a little better than Mick Ultra, but I mean it's okay. I mean it's
Looks
all
like a
right.
liney.
We're gonna.
It
stop
is. It's
with
a
this.
Liney's Oktoberfest.
Oh no, that's a really good beer.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I mean
Could-
it's
Could be
not.
better,
I'll tell
could
you
be
what.
worse.
I really like Sam Adams.
Their
Oktoberfest.
Oktoberfest is probably
better.
one of the best ever.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean it's better than Liney's, and I'm a Liney's fan. I mean I like it. This I would definitely rate this a 7. I mean they're without question. I mean it's
Okay, 7.
drinkable. It's a good beer, yeah, but it's not one of the best Oktoberfest I've had by far. So
Fair enough.
so yeah, this is reaching into the fridge and just grabbing one and going for it.
Hey, man.
Little better than an Ultra.
I'm not much different, only because I have a lot of flavors, but I don't have them in the fridge. So I was like, oh shit, what do I get out? Because I already did, Natter Days. I can't really do that one again. But I did have this in the fridge. Sierra Nevada
Ooh.
Coffee Stout.
Ooh,
So
Okay.
okay.
it's good. It's not my favorite coffee stout in the world. And I knew that going into this because I've had a couple, but it's definitely drinkable. It's got a nice, look at that, rich color, nice
Yeah.
chocolatey head. It has what's a coffee stout? Definitely, I will say it has that coffee flavor, but also a chocolatey flavor, so it's good. Joe, it's definitely better than your shit, so we'll give it a 7.5.
7.5. Okay.
So Kyle's polishing your chocolatey head.
Chocolatey knob.
Okay, that's right. That's right.
Okay, he could
Kyle's going to
be
work
polishing.
today. Okay.
How do you polish a chocolatey head?
I don't know. Maybe.
He makes
Maybe
it work.
You do have a nice shine up there, so we'll
I
go
do.
with that. Amen.
I do too. That's fine.
That's fine.
That's right. We're all shiny. Take
We're all
off that
shiny.
hat, bitch.
Yeah, right.
Holy shit! I just noticed something.
What?
Oh, don't
Just
tell us.
happened.
What?
What?
2 of us look the same. 1 of us looks different. Which one of these things are not the same? I don't even know the right Sesame Street song.
I don't
for that.
either. Who's
Which
the outlier?
one doesn't belong? Maybe.
One of these things is not like the other.
That's it, right there.
Oh, there you go.
That's
My
it
wife
right there.
was singing it in the background to help me out.
Oh.
So, have you figured it out, guys?
No.
It's like every show we've done, there's been a real consistent theme. Other than I fucked it up a little bit a while back.
Evan didn't tell us what he's drinking.
I wasn't quite completely clean shaven, but
Oh.
now
Oh.
Joe broke the beard club.
Well, now if you'll
Right.
look, I'm not completely clean shaven.
I don't know.
Oh, please.
That looks like
Yeah.
it looks like Kyle's
I'm telling
nutsack to me.
No, I'll tell you what. This last weekend we were down in the old market partying a little bit, And I got sick of wearing the mask with that full beard because it just it's like a mother. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm taking this shit off because it sucked. I loved it. I'm gonna grow it back, but not until this fucking mask wearing bullshit's over.
Okay, fair enough.
So yeah, that's the reason it's gone.
You're out of the beard club.
Oh, that's okay. I mean,
Welcome to the beard club, John.
it takes me a week to get back in, so it's not. It doesn't take long.
Right.
Yeah, but it's not going to have that length.
It won't be full and luscious.
It won't have that length.
Mine's getting shaved here pretty soon because it's getting too long. My wife is not very thrilled.
She
likes it.
I'm keeping going.
Evan's a man. You keep it up, Evan.
Oh, I will.
So anyway, what the fuck were we talking about? Oh, beer. We're done with that.
We're done with beer.
Nobody cares about you.
Divas. We're on divas.
Not you, John.
Let's get into some divas.
No, I'm on a diva. His name's Kyle.
All right. Well, we're not talking about that diva. We're talking about the one and only Earl Thomas. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right.
I'm not sure if I should boo or cheer.
Officially released by the Baltimore Ravens. First and foremost, I do think he's going to be signed by another team. I don't have a prediction just yet, but he's. Sure. We looked up the numbers before the show. The Ravens are on the hook for a lot of money, at least $5 million, possibly an extra $10 million this year, and then $10 million next year. So this isn't just some we're saving money release. This guy clearly cancerous in the locker room, not conduct detrimental to the team. I think that was the official wording of why they released him. Yeah. But I want to hear your thoughts first, Joe. I feel like you have some strong opinions on this.
You know, I do. I do.
What a shocker.
I'm no shit, right? No, I'll tell you what. I still think that this is financially motivated. Yes, I think he's causing problems there. I don't think maybe the team was a right fit. He didn't seem to be a diva when he was in Seattle. He had a bad break with them. So obviously he had a bad out, with Pete Carroll and Schneider up there. But when he played there, he was a captain of the football team, man. I mean, this guy was the leader on that team. And so, he goes to Baltimore. We don't hear anything.
He punched a guy last year.
Well, he punched a guy, right? And then his wife tried to kill him, I think. But I mean, but you really didn't hear it in the news. Yeah. Like during the season, you didn't hear, Earl Thomas is doing this, or he's doing that, or he's complaining. You just didn't hear it. And maybe the team was good at hiding that. We were talking about money. I really still think it's about money because I want you to think about something. He signed a 4-year, $54 million contract. All right? These guys are going to have to pay $15 million to get him off the team. They have no idea, nobody does, what the salary caps are going to be in the years coming. They don't know what kind of a hit the NFL is going to take. So if they can pay $15 million to get out from under 54.
Well, they still got 10 next year.
I understand that. So they got 5 this year and 10 next year.
15 this year. They're trying to void 10 of it, and then 10 next year.
Yeah, I think they'll get out of the 10. So I think it'll be 15 total. But even so, it's still not $54 million. And I think you unload that big contract, and we talked about this, the Chiefs, they're in trouble because they've signed all these guys. They've signed Kelsey and Jones and Mahomes, thinking that the salary cap is going to go up. That's all based in those numbers. And those guys are signed. So who are they going to have to let go after this season? I think a lot of teams are looking at that. I think this was part of that. Yes, I think he's a diva and he didn't fit into the team chemistry. So when you put 2 and 2 together, it equals get the hell out of town. Now, he can still play. He's 31.
He made the Pro Bowl last year.
Yeah, but he's lost a step. I mean, if you watched him in his younger years, you know that he's a step slower than he used to be. But is he a starter on any team in the NFL? Yes, absolutely. I certainly hope he gets the hell out of the AFC. I don't want to see him go to Houston.
I know where he's going. He's going.
I'd love to see him go to Dallas. I'd love to see it. Or San Francisco.
Anywhere in the NFC.
Right. That's exactly it. As long as he gets the hell out, I could care less. But I do think part of this was financially motivated.
I really don't think it is financially motivated because of that $10 million cap next year. If there was a cap hit this year, just this year, like $15 million this year, and nothing on the books for next year, I would agree with you. But considering, I mean, they phrased it as conduct detrimental to the team.
Yep.
This guy has a history.
Yep.
They're on the hook for $10 million next year when the
Yep.
salary cap is projected to go down.
Yep.
This
But
guy is still a Pro Bowl player.
But the
So
guy that
why are you don't just release a guy like that.
but the guy that's taking his place is making how much?
Chump change, but he's not Earl
Okay.
Thomas.
Well, that's exactly right. But if he's making chump change, are they really out that money?
Jump change plus $5 million.
You're paying 15,
Well, that's what I
you're
mean.
not you're paying potentially 15 this year to
Right.
have a guy not play for you. That's a statement. Especially
Right.
when it's a
But Baltimore's
Pro Bowl
not.
player.
But Baltimore's not going to do that if they don't think they have somebody that can fill his shoes. They're not. They're a
Regardless
contender.
of that.
They're a contender right now. There's
Yes, they
no
are.
way they get rid of him if they don't have somebody in the wings that's ready to take over that position.
I hope I see their safeties get lit up this year then.
Well, I do too, 'cause I'm a Chiefs
Me
fan.
too. Me too. The good news is, as a Chiefs fan or AFC fans, we're thrilled
Well,
to
AFC,
see a good
yes.
defense
Yes.
suffer.
Yes.
So,
Absolutely.
though they said he sucked it up a little bit last year in certain cases. Now I got to ask this question because I think I side with Evan on this one quite a bit. But Joe,
Sure. Yeah.
if a team was financially motivated to get rid of a player that is not necessarily wanting to be there for whatever reason, whether he is making it obvious or he's just being a douchebag while he's on the team, wouldn't the financial motivated method of getting rid of that player be to trade him?
I would think so.
That would be financially motivated because then you're going to get something for
Yeah.
him. If nothing else, get rid of his cap hit.
Right.
Instead, you just dropped the motherfucker.
Right.
That means you're pissed off because he's a douchebag.
Right.
And you didn't even give a shit about the money. I mean, you
Yeah.
care a little bit, but it was a little
Well-
afterthought. You're like, no, he's out.
Yeah.
Because there's been a couple other guys we've talked about recently and hit the news that, they weren't thrilled with where they were at. What was the dude from the Jets went to?
Oh, Jamal
Yeah,
Adams.
Jamal Adams.
There we go, Jamal Adams. And there was a guy from, I don't know if he ended up going anywhere. The good dude from Jacksonville last year.
Oh, Fournette?
He was also a safety or whatever. No.
Yannick. Jalen Ramsey. It wasn't
Jalen Ramsey. No, I
Jalen
think it was
Ramsey.
Jalen
Okay.
Ramsey.
All right. Yeah.
I don't think – did he ever go anywhere? I think he
He's
stayed.
on.
But still,
No, he's in the
No,
Rams.
he went to the Rams.
yeah, okay, right. But and those guys, like, they didn't even play. But those teams hung on to the dude and then eventually traded him off to get the money out of him, right?
Well,
So I think you're crazy to think this was financially motivated in any way, other than to save face later, maybe because they're like, why are we giving away money on a guy we just
Yeah.
ditched?
And they
'cause he's a
just signed
douche?
him to a 4-year deal last offseason.
Yeah.
That's right.
So it's not like
So-
he's in. I don't know. You don't
So
just.
Go ahead.
Here's what I would say to that, John. I would argue that in that when you trade him, I honestly believe there's no one in this league that would have traded for him and paid that salary with the unknown salary cap. There's no one out there, John. I'm sorry. He's not a 31-year-old who's lost a step. And yes, I understand he made the Pro Bowl, but you're going to have to pay that $54 million contract if you want to get him. So,
Well, you won't pay it all because he's already spent a year.
well,
And-
you're right, but
and-
you're going to
and
pay
some
3 years of
teams-
it.
Some teams have made a really good deal.
Some.
Let's talk about Todd Gurley and him going to Atlanta and the fact
Yes.
that the Rams carried part of that paycheck.
Yes, but
It
none
does
of
happen.
those. But
It
none
doesn't
of those.
happen.
No, it doesn't. It
Belichick
doesn't.
would be like, "Hey, if I can
No.
get a really good deal,
No.
spend
It
another
doesn't-
$500K or $600K on a player, I'll do it."
It doesn't happen once they knew the salary cap is going down. It hasn't happened since then. Yeah, you're right. It happened a ton before all this shit went down. But now there's so much uncertainty with the NFL that, the revenues are lost. The owners are losing their ass. Arrowhead's allowing 18,000 fans in as opposed to 78,000. You think they're not going to take a hit? They just paid a guy $503 million, John. Hey, these guys are going to lose a fuck ton of money. So for you to sit there and say, oh, yeah, it's easy to go pick up a guy with 3 years left on his contract, 30-some million. Hey, let's let the guy release the guy, and we'll pick him up because he's gotten to get nowhere near what the Ravens paid him.
Sure.
No one's going to pay him.
They're getting it anyway
near
now.
that.
I mean,
That's
it doesn't matter.
exactly right.
They didn't even try. Is my point. They
Yeah.
didn't even try. So yeah,
So it doesn't feel financially motivated.
No.
You know,
Well,
maybe they don't care about the money. Maybe they just don't care. They'll take the cap hit.
I think I said partially
right. Oh, I know.
financially
I know.
motivated. It's not all. I mean, yes, I think he's a diva. He hit a guy in the law. I mean, that's a big problem. And if he's a problem on the team, that's probably why the trade wasn't an option. It's like, we don't want the guy, so he's not even worth putting out there for a trade. We don't think we're going to get anything with him. Maybe they did, John. Maybe they called other teams and they're like, no, we don't want to take that contract. We don't even know that they didn't try that.
Very true.
You know, it's not in the news. They may have tried and nobody bit, so they're like, screw this. They released the guy. And you know what? Nobody still has signed him. And
they just released him today. So
officially released him today.
Officially released him today. Well, that was the thing.
Two days ago.
They had this sort of. It was like a day or two where it's like they don't know exactly what's going on with him. They didn't officially release him. It was sort of like the Ravens are expected to release Earl Thomas, but they may shop him around first. So there was a day or two where it was sort of in limbo, which sort of proves the point of maybe they were fielding calls, seeing if anyone would take him.
See, I thought they said 2 days ago, Earl Thomas, I was listening to the radio, Earl Thomas has been released by the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, okay.
Well, they tweeted that at one point, but does that make it official?
It was on the radio, so I mean, I just assumed.
See, I thought I remember hearing about it beforehand, like that it was expected. So maybe, I mean, yeah.
You know, if he was released 2 days ago, for a guy that's as good as he is, somebody would have snapped him up. But my guess is that his agent is saying, no, he wants a massive contract like he got with Baltimore. And if that's what he wants, I really think he's going to have trouble getting that. Just with the uncertainty in the NFL.
Well, not only that, because it might be hard to find to tolerate his ass. You're taking a risk on him fitting in.
Where do you guys think he might end up? Or what? Or where do you think he might end up? And what do you think this has on Baltimore, if any? Does this? I know you guys are all bandwagon on the Chiefs to make it back to the Super Bowl. That's fine.
Yeah.
But does this take the Ravens out of maybe a 1 or 2 seed? Knock them down a peg?
I absolutely think it does. You know, unless there's that diamond in the rough that they know about that none of us do, a name that we haven't heard of, and he comes in and plays lights out.
Right.
Then surprise. But until that actually happens, I think it hurts them big time.
Yeah, I have a hard time saying that they're going to make a 1 or 2 seed. I think they still could. I think it's more challenging. Depends on where he goes, too. If he goes in the AFC, then now that helps somebody probably. And then he's got a chip on his shoulder against the Baltimore Ravens when he plays them. But if he goes to the NFC,
I mean,
who's better? Who's better than the Ravens and the Chiefs? That's still a tough. I mean, not like it's the, New England Patriots. They're not better. So,
just you wait. I mean, I personally
Tennessee Titans. Maybe if they got Earl Thomas, I don't think they're better.
I personally think he's going to end
up.
They
beat their ass
in
last
Dallas. Year. I mean, they've been talking about Earl Thomas to Dallas for years.
Good.
Or even sign with Baltimore. He's from Dallas. Jerry Jones will put up with characters.
He was actually supposed to come to the Chiefs.
I saw that. I didn't even realize that until I read that.
Before Baltimore snatched him away. And then we got the Honey Badger. So
I'd say that worked out for you.
Yeah, it worked out.
Okay. Yeah, so we were pretty happy about that. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it couldn't have happened to a better team. I'm really happy that it happened to them if it had to happen to anybody.
Right.
I'm not a huge Ravens fan, and if you're a Chiefs fan, you're not a Ravens fan.
Absolutely.
So as my name dictates in the draft we're about to do, I hope they like it deep because they're gonna take one for this loss.
Oh yeah.
So so that's good. I was glad to hear that. I really was. Anytime they can do that. How far are we out from our draft? Has anybody even looked?
I'm looking right now. We're 4 minutes away, and we only have a half full league. It looks like.
Yeah, we only got.
I think we're in trouble.
This isn't good. Okay. Well.
We're probably going to get a later draft. I wonder if it's going to. It says it's an offline draft type. Did you know that we're offline?
No.
No.
That's what it says.
Let me
Is that
manage
because
it.
we slipped? Is that because we didn't fill up in time?
Well, how much time do we have left?
Again, it was
4 minutes.
we had 4 minutes, so it's off now.
Oh, it just turned off.
I bet that's why we didn't fill in time for
Yeah.
it to like line up because usually you get in a couple minutes early.
Now it says the earliest we can do is 10:30.
Oh God.
I'll change it and see what happens, but that sucks. Maybe we push it off for another day.
We could push it off till another day this week, and that gives it some time to fill.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's. How about tomorrow? Wednesday? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow's not good. I got gymnastics.
Do you?
I do.
What level are you now, Joe?
I am in the Thunderbirds.
Awesome.
Yep. Just got my
Got promoted.
somersaults and my cartwheels down.
Nice.
Yeah. So I'm really kicking some ass.
So Wednesday we try it again. 9 o'clock. Ev, you should hit stop if you haven't already, just because then we don't have to edit this crap off.
True. Hold on.